Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. This is the 6th episode of the series, and Naruto is sharper than he lets on, and he has learned jujitsu and secret knowledge from all across Konoha as he grew up. To show your support, like and subscribe. Let's get this show going. The day after the funeral, Naruto called all the remaining blood clones to him so he could talk to them. All right, I have some news I would like to share with you all, announced Naruto. What? Asked one of the clones. After examining our fallen friend, I discovered some rather interesting bits of information about you all, answered Naruto. Oh? What? Asked another clone. Well, it turns out you all have real bodies that function like a real human body, except you don't have a pulse whatsoever, explained Naruto. Pulse? What do you mean? Asked a clone. To put it simply, while you all have hearts, said Naruto, none of them work, which means you don't have any blood flow and is why you can't get a boner. Is there anything you can do to fix that? Asked the clones. Yes. Remember that ritual that'll turn the Uchihas living here into Uzumakis? Asked Naruto. Oh yeah? Replied the clones. I plan on using it on all of you as well, continued Naruto, and due to the effects of it, you all will no longer be my clones, but real living, breathing human beings. You mean we'll be free to do as we please? Asked one of the odd clones. No, corrected Naruto. All that'll change is you're no longer bound to me in any way, but will still have to obey my word as the head of the clan. As well as mom when she comes back. Hey, at least we can have our own lives, said one of the clones. That means we can have our own relationships, right? Said a clone. Yes it does, but while I'm gone I want you all to choose your own names and clothing styles as part of the separation, answered Naruto. It's hard enough for the villagers having me wandering around no longer hiding my true form. They don't need 14 other mess running around. Don't worry sir, we'll get right on it, said one of the clones. By the time you get back we'll all have taken up our own personas. Good to know, said Naruto. And one last thing, I want you all to find your own passions in life. I don't care what it is, so long as it's appropriate. No selling your bodies off or anything like that, like any of us would do that, said one of the clones. Good, now you're free to go, said Naruto as he dismissed them and went to go pack. An hour later Naruto arrived at the Hokage estate with Inari, who was wearing a midnight blue long-sleeved hooded kimono to hide his draconic features, as people weren't used to them yet, and neither was he. Feeling alright, Inari? Asked Naruto. You've been quiet since the invasion. I'm doing alright, replied Inari. It's just I'm not quite used to what happened to me yet. I see, said Naruto. It took me some time to get used to my true form when I first changed, so don't worry about it too much. Is that why I'm coming with? Asked Inari. So you can help me get used to the changes to my body? That's right, Inari, replied Naruto. I also want to find out exactly what happened to you when you transformed. Is it going to hurt? Asked Inari. No, assured Naruto, plus Lady Tusnade is going to help me out, and she's the greatest medic in the world. Good, said Inari. Hinata then arrived at the door, all set to head out with her father Hiyashi behind her. Hi Shisama, said Naruto with a bow. Naruto nodded. Hiyashi, you're not mad at me for what happened to Neji, are you? Asked Naruto. Maybe a little, answered Hiyashi. I planned on telling him the truth behind the elder's back after you defeated him. But when he said those things about your parents, everyone knew what the outcome was going to be. Yeah, I kinda lost it there, didn't I? Replied Naruto. Naruto, anyone would have reacted in a similar way as you did, assured Hinata, so no one holds it against you for losing your head the way you did. Thanks Hinata, said Naruto gratefully. It means a lot. Now take good care of Hinata while you're gone, instructed Hiyashi, and know what'll happen if I find Hinata isn't pure when you get back. I'd be already dead if I did that, said Naruto. Mom would have well beaten you to the punch if she learned of that. Good to know we're on the same page, said Hiyashi before heading back inside. And tell your mother I said hi and that I'm glad she's alive. Alright, I will, called Naruto as he led Hinata and Inari to the main gate where Jiraiya was waiting for them. Ready to go? Asked Jiraiya once they all reached him. Yep, all set, replied Naruto. The clones are busy getting ready to become human while still doing the work required of them, right? They're how you make so many weapons and seals so fast, noted Jiraiya. Well, let's move out. Line break. Shortly after Naruto left the village, two individuals entered wearing dark cloaks with red clouds decorating them. So the Nine Tails lives around here? Asked the taller of the two. Yes, but if the reports we got from what happened during the invasion, we might have to retreat as fast as possible, replied the shorter man. Otherwise we may face elimination. Ha! I bet I could take him, said the taller man confidently. Don't forget he's an Uzumaki. They're renowned for their swordsmanship, warned the shorter man. Don't remind me, said the taller man in irritation. Let's find a place to observe before going after him, shall we, suggested the shorter man. Fine, whatever, replied the taller man. Line break. Kakashi was on his way to meet up with Sasuke to start him in his elemental training when he came across Asuma and Kurenai out on a hot date? Asked Kakashi as he greeted the two. No, nothing like that, replied Asuma. I was just going to get a bite to eat when I bumped into Kurenai. Same here, replied Kurenai, only I was off to gather some flowers anyway. Kakashi, how does it feel to have Naruto on the team? Asked Asuma. Spectacular, replied Kakashi, but there isn't much left for me to teach him. He learns anything you put in front of him incredibly fast. Sasuke is like that as well, just not as fast. And then there's Sakura, said Asuma. Figured out what the heck is wrong with her? Naruto thinks some kind of seal is responsible, but isn't sure entirely, answered Kakashi, who noticed the two cloaked men sitting nearby at a tea shop and subtly drew the other two's attention to them. It was at this point Sasuke appeared, looking a little disheveled. Is everything alright, Sasuke? Asked Kakashi. I had to run away from Sakura again. She found where I was waiting for you and tried to take me out on a date, answered Sasuke, who noticed that Asuma and Kurenai disappeared and that there were 2 cups of tea just sitting there. How about you head over to Naruto's place and read up on elemental manipulation while I take care of something, suggested Kakashi in a slightly hard tone. Sasuke got the hint and quickly left for Naruto's place. Line break: Itachi Uchiha, I'm surprised you decided to show your face in this town after what you did, growled Asuma when him and Kurenai caught up to the 2 cloaked men. Hey, looks like you're pretty popular around here, noted the taller man. Itachi, however, could tell that Asuma was playing the part, as was Kurenai, which meant the truth behind that night was known to at least some of the ninjas of the village. Well, I better introduce myself then, said the taller man as he removed his cloak and straw hat. Name's Kisame Hoshigaki. You're wanted for trying to kill the dynamos of numerous lands, said Asuma. What are you lot doing here in Konoha? We're looking for the legacy of the 4th, replied Itachi, as if Naruto would go down quietly or easily, said Kurenai. He's far too strong to do so, so we've heard, said Kisame. Now tell us where he is. Not going to happen, said Asuma as he pulled out his 2 trench knives and took a defensive stance. So this will be fun, cried Kisame gleefully. Kisame, we don't want to draw too much attention to us, said Itachi, so make this quick so we can leave and look elsewhere. Fine, said Kisame. Water shark bullets. Asuma and Kurenai both jumped away from the attack and engaged the 2 wanted men. Asuma vs Kisame and Kurenai vs Itachi. Asuma and Kurenai both found their opponent to be more than they could handle, as they were A and high B class ninja going up against 2 S class ninjas. Things were looking bleak for the 2 until Kakashi arrived to save Kurenai from one of Itachi's attacks. What took you so long? Asked Kurenai. Sorry about that. Had to make sure civilians weren't around, replied Kakashi. Kakashi of the Sharingan, noted Itachi. Be careful, Kisame, he's more than you can handle. Kakashi thereafter Naruto, said Asuma. Looks like Naruto's godfather was right, said Kakashi. There is an organization after him. So you know about the Akatsuki? Asked Itachi. Indeed, though given what we know about the original version from Jiraiya himself, said Kakashi, we don't know how you could take the name of what could have been a great help to Rain and slander it into such filth. Well, looks like we can't let you go with your lives now, said Kisame as he got ready to wipe them all out. Stop, Kisame, I'll handle this, said Itachi as he activated his Sharingan. Quick, look away. Only the Sharingan can stop another, warned Kakashi as he revealed his own Sharingan that now had a strange tattoo around it. The design is in Egyptian style, only it's a series of small symbols and not a solid line. True, the Sharingan can reset another Sharingan, but only if both users are of the Uchiha clan, said Itachi as he trapped Kakashi in his Tsukuyomi Genjutsu. Line break: Kakashi saw himself bound to a cross in a world of red with himself being monochrome. This looks an awful like Naruto's Uzu Satoru, world reader, only the colors are different, noted Kakashi. What are you talking about? Asked Itachi as he made himself known. Didn't you know? Naruto altered his dormant Sharingan into a completely different version of it, said Kakashi. I'm aware he fused Shishi's Sharingan eyes into his own the night you killed all of the conspirators of the coup. I wondered how Asuma and Kurenai knew the truth, said Itachi. Sasuke suspects something more went on that night after finding out about Naruto's heritage, said Kakashi. However, while he's made progress in correcting the behavior instilled into him, he's become worried about being consumed by your clan's darkness. Ever since Orochimaru put a curse mark on him, he wants to use Sasuke as his vessel so he can learn all the jutsus he can, said Itachi. He tried to show that to me, but I overpowered him and forced him to leave the Akatsuki. Speaking of them, why did you join them? Asked Kakashi. I'm working undercover, replied Itachi. But tell me, just how powerful is Naruto really? Currently? Hi Chunin, answered Kakashi. There isn't much left for me to teach him anymore. Where is he anyway? Asked Itachi. Knowing him, he would have showed up by now, out looking for some relatives of his, answered Kakashi. His mother, to be precise, as we need a new Hokage after Orochimaru caused Hiruzen to sacrifice himself to save the village. Itachi got slight shivers as he knew it was a very poor idea to mess with Kushina or her family. Curse that man who forced the Nine Tails to attack. Any idea who he is? Asked Kakashi. I believe he is the man pulling the strings behind the Akatsuki, answered Itachi. Lord Pain speaks with a man who fits the description we managed to get from Lady Kushina before she passed out completely that night, but who that man really is I have no clue. Lord Pain? Asked Kakashi. I can't say much about him, but he's much stronger than I am, said Itachi. Just know there is something strange about him. How so? Asked Kakashi. I'm afraid I can't say, replied Itachi. Great, said Kakashi. Now let me see what Naruto can do, said Itachi before forcing Kakashi to show him all he knew about Naruto's development. Not knowing Naruto had a seal that hides overly telling info blended in with the one he placed around Kakashi's Sharingan to prevent others from gaining that information. Line break. Itachi released Kakashi from the Tsukuyomi and saw that Kakashi was still barely standing from being released. Dang, he's tough to have managed to not break, noted Kisame. Indeed, agreed Itachi, we best leave. I know where Naruto is, good idea, said Kisame, but let's finish them off first. Suddenly Might Guy appeared by kicking Kisame in the face, knocking him back across the large canal. They were all standing by. Ow, that hurt, yelled Kisame as he grabbed his sword to attack Guy. We're leaving, ordered Itachi. Now fine, said Kisame as the two vanished from sight. How you holding up? Asked Asuma with worry. It's a good thing Naruto left to get Tsunade, said Kakashi slowly as he stared to pass out. She'll be able to undo the mental damage Itachi put me through. Kakashi then proceeded to pass clean out with Asuma and Kurenai. Seeing that the seal around his Sharingan allowed it to deactivate as if Kakashi was born with it. I'll never get tired of being amazed by what Naruto can do with his seals, said Asuma as he lifted Kakashi up. Me either, agreed Guy. His skill is most youthful indeed. Let's get him home and wait until Naruto gets back, said Kurenai. Line break. Meanwhile, Naruto was walking along with Jiraiya, Hinata and Inari as they headed out to the last known location Tsunade was. As they walked, Naruto was helping Inari gain control over his new powers and seeing what all he could do with them. I'd never would have thought I'd see a descendant of sea dragons in my entire life, said Jiraiya, yet here's one before me being trained to control his powers with the help of a half-kitsune. Lord Jiraiya, is there anything you're going to teach us while we look for a Lady Tsunade? Asked Hinata. Actually yes, there is, answered Jiraiya. I plan on teaching Naruto one of his birthrights from his father, the Rasengan? Asks Naruto as he observes Itachi trying to change his arm back to normal. Got it in one, replied Jiraiya. Kakashi asked me if he could teach it to you, but I told him I'd do it. Have to be able to teach you some stuff after all. Hey, I don't mind, said Naruto, but you think you'd teach me the swamp of the underworld as well? Perhaps, you need more earth jutsus after all, but we'll see, replied Jiraiya. Could I learn the Rasengan as well? Asked Inari. Sorry kid, but I don't think learning something like the Rasengan when you haven't learned how to control your power yet is a wise idea. It's one of the hardest jutsus to learn due to the extreme amount of control it takes, answered Jiraiya. But what do you think, Naruto? I'd have to agree with you on that one, replied Naruto. Until your chakra network has completely adjusted to the changes your body went under and you learn to control your new chakra, it's not a good idea, complained Inari. Don't worry Squirt, I'll teach it to you afterwards, assured Naruto. After I learn and master it myself. I should also mention that the Rasengan itself isn't even a completed jutsu, said Jiraiya. Your father planned on adding elemental natures to it, but never got to. Dang, I've seen you use it before, said Naruto, and it's incredibly strong as it is. Imagine how strong it'd be if elemental natures were added to it. How far did he get? Asked Hinata. Not far, answered Jiraiya. He managed to partially get wind nature to mix with it, but it kept blowing up in his hand each time. Kushina would lay into him each time he'd try as he came home heavily injured, making her worry about him. Wow, remind me to not get mom upset, noted Naruto. You have the benefit of mass use of shadow clones to learn how to add elemental chakra, said Jiraiya, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here. So how do I learn it? Asked Naruto. Learning the Rasengan takes 3 steps, replied Jiraiya, but in order to actually learn the first step, we're going to need water balloons. We don't have any, noted Naruto. I know, I forgot to bring them, said Jiraiya as he hung his head. So just help Inari out in the meantime. I'll get some when we get to town. Fine by me, replied Naruto as he went back to helping Inari learn how to transform. Line break. It was 2 days later that the group made it to the town where Tsunade was reportedly last seen. Alright, head, stay here at the inn while I go meet with my informant, said Jiraiya. Just then a busty blonde walked by, under a genjutsu that Naruto, Hinata and Jiraiya picked up on. With Jiraiya following after her. Let's head up to our room, said Hinata. Right, there's some medical knowledge I want to brush up on, said Naruto. What should I do? Asked Inari. Read your textbook. Just because you're not at the academy doesn't mean you're not going to skip out on your studies, answered Naruto. Fine, grumbled Inari as he crossed his arms. It wasn't long after the 3 of them went to their room that Naruto sensed Itachi approaching with someone who had massive reserves of chakra. Naruto signaled the others as they knocked on the door, leading them to grab their things and jump out the window of the roof next door, but left some clones behind to distract them. Itachi, I'm getting annoyed here, growled Kisame quietly. Just then Naruto's clone opened the door and asked rudely, yeah, what do you want? We're busy here. Itachi and Kisame noticed the another clone in the room disguised as a completely naked woman, and noticed that the clone was also naked, wearing a condom. This led them to slowly close the door in embarrassment. Did I just see that? Asked Kisame in shock. Yes, replied Itachi, but those were just shadow clones left behind to distract us. Why leave that behind as a distraction? I have no idea, but it's effective. Those were just clones, exclaimed Kisame. Damn. We completely got tricked. We need to go after that punk. Agreed, replied Itachi. The 2 men quickly left. So shall we continue? Asked the male clone. The boss would not like it if we did, replied the other clone. You know what'd happen if we tried to, damn it, said the clone. I want some action, just masturbate then, said the other clone before dispelling. Line break. What the hell? Cried Naruto when he got the memories from the dispelled clone. What is it, Naruto? Asked Hinata. Stupid hormones making my clones act dirty, said Naruto to himself. They know what I'd do to them if they did that. Naruto, what are you talking about? Asked Inari. Huh? Oh, nothing, just what those three clones decided to do as a distraction, replied Naruto. What was it? Asked Hinata. I'll tell you later. We got company, replied Naruto as Kisame and Itachi arrived. What the? Cried Kisame as he noticed Inari's draconic features. A descendant of dragons actually exists. That's not good, noted Itachi. Dragons are said to be as strong as the tailed beasts themselves. I say we capture him along with the nine tails, said Kisame, but not before we make them scream and get rid of the girl. I would not do that, Kisame warned Itachi. Threaten those close to an Uzumaki and you will regret it, Kisame? As in one of the legendary swordsmen? Asked Naruto. I've already bested Zabuzai in blade work, so how hard can you be? Kisame was stunned by that remark, as while being the strongest out of the 7 swordsmen of the mist, the others were no pushovers either. Then where is his sword? Back home in the village. Haven't found a replacement yet, replied Naruto. Neither has his apprentice. If Zabuza had an apprentice then they would get it, said Kisame. Not if they weren't a swordsman, said Naruto. Hakuyuki may have been Zabuza's apprentice, but he learned more of his water jutsus than blade work, plus he's more of a medic nin anyway. We're getting off track here, said Itachi. Naruto, come with us quietly. There is someone who would like to see you. Sorry but no, replied Naruto as he pulled out Fakujukaze and activated it with a wind chakra blade, getting into a defensive stance. As he did so, Hinata moved into a defensive stance of the gentle fist and Inari pulled out his katana and took the same defensive stance as Naruto. I see you're already teaching, noted Itachi as he activated his Sharingan. Let's see what you've teached him. Let's, agreed Naruto as he activated his Sharingan and lunged at Itachi. Itachi was caught off guard by the fact Naruto's Sharingan was so vastly different than his own and barely blocked Naruto's attack with a kunai. He also noticed that Kisame had engaged Hinata and Inari in battle. Give up, or your friends aren't going to last long, warned Itachi. Kisame is a killer. We've all killed Itachi. We know the risks, replied Naruto as he continued to press his attack. Surely little Inari hasn't killed, said Itachi. Why do you think his dragon blood awoke? Orochimaru's invasion forced Inari to kill or be killed, remarked Naruto. The stress of the situation was too much for him, bastard. Forcing young children to kill, said Itachi venomously. He also snuck into the second stage of the Chunin exams and bit Sasuke, said Naruto, and me as well when I shoved Sasuke out of the way during his first attempt. If that's the case, why isn't the curse mark active? Asked Itachi. Overpowered it, replied Naruto. It has no real effect on me due to having the QB sealed inside me. Enough talk, let's begin the real fight, said Itachi. Couldn't agree more, replied Naruto. Kitsune style, Foxfire Vortex. Itachi quickly had to jump back as blue flames erupted around Naruto and swirled around him at high speeds that came right at him. Amaterasu, said Itachi as black flames suddenly shot out of his eyes that changed to the Mangekyo Sharingan, hitting the Foxfire Vortex head-on. The result, however, wasn't what Itachi expected as the two flames cancelled each other out. Appears Foxfire is just as strong, noted Naruto, but I wonder if I can use Amaterasu since I also have the final form of the Sharingan from when I took a killing blow for someone. If that's the case, then how are you still alive? Questioned Itachi. Got hit in the lung, not the heart, replied Naruto as he moved his Sharingan to the Mangekyo Sharingan and attempted to use Amaterasu. What happened was that a 50-foot column of blue/white fire erupted from under where Itachi was standing, burning him quite badly as he was caught off guard by the fire and how powerful it was. What the heck was that? Asked Naruto. That Naruto was a blend of your Foxfire with the incredibly rare Seiruhono, or Holy Flame, explained Kurama from within the seal. How the heck you were able to use it though is beyond me. You're just full of surprises, aren't you, Naruto, noted Itachi. You're ill, incredibly ill, Itachi said. Naruto, you need to see a doctor. I'm aware of that, Naruto replied Itachi, but no regular doctor will willing see me. But I'm no regular medic nin, said Naruto. I'm not even certified as one, nor is my focus as being one. But I'm quite skilled in medicine despite focusing on other areas. Itachi was very tempted to take Naruto up on that, but Sasuke suddenly appeared atop the two were fighting on. Little brother, what brings you here? Asked an annoyed Itachi. I know what you did to Kakashi, replied Sasuke, but more importantly I need to know, what was the real reason you killed our clansmen? What are you talking about? It is as I said, to test myself, replied Itachi. That's not good enough, said Sasuke. I know what our clan did to Naruto's grandmother, and after looking through our clan's history found some rather dark things our clan has done. So tell me, Itachi, what was it that forced your hand? I see you found out about our clan's greatest shame, said Itachi sadly. It is true, Naruto's grandmother was one of us at one point. Her inability to gain the Sharingan led her to being disowned and cast out. But the elders took it one step further. They planned her death to prevent the Sharingan from possibly being passed on to outside the clan. Of course they failed to prevent her from having a child, but they did manage to kill her, and the father and their son became the greatest hero the village ever produced, said Sasuke, but he too never unlocked the Sharingan. But Naruto here found a way to gain it as he's Minato's son. Privato some S-class secrets I see, noted Itachi sadly. All I can say about that night is that there was more going on than you think. So there was something going on, said Sasuke. I'm afraid so, replied Itachi, but I will say this, it was all father's fault that things ended up the way they did. Honestly, I'm not surprised. Father was a very prideful man, said Sasuke. Yes, the darkness that plagues our clan was very strong in him, said Itachi, and now I'm struggling to break free of it, said Sasuke, but I don't know if I can. It was hard enough before Orochimaru bit me. Now it keeps whispering to me every night, making it hard to sleep. But what about that seal me and Jiraiya placed over it? Asked Naruto. It helps, but while it keeps the snake out of my head, it doesn't help against the darkness already inside me, answered Sasuke, and it scares me. I dearly wish things didn't end up this way, said Itachi, but we must end this now, agreed, said Jiraiya as he appeared on the scene. What the heck took you so long? Asked Naruto. I got sidetracked by one of your eccentric shadow clones, answered Jiraiya. Tied the idiot up. Figured you'd want to make him suffer a little. Fair enough, replied Naruto. Kisame, we're leaving, said Itachi. Yuck, fine, replied a rather haggard Kisame. Damned Uzumakis and their teaching methods. And damn Gentle Fist countering my abilities. Itachi suddenly created the black flames of Amaterasu, which allowed him and Kisame to flee. Sasuke, you should head back to the village, said Naruto. I'm pretty sure you left without permission. Oh crud, I did forget to let them know I left, said Sasuke, and that is why I came after you, said Guy as he arrived. We worried about what might happen if you ran into your brother, but it seems everything is alright for right now. Sorry about that, apologized Sasuke. Can we just go now though? There's a reason they're out here after all. Yes, of course, just don't mention what happened to anyone until the next Hokage is sworn into office, agreed Guy. Hard to believe Guy can act normal when the situation calls for it, noted Naruto after Sasuke and Guy left. Indeed. But anyway, I managed to pick up some water balloons so you can start learning the first step, said Jiraiya, but first we'll need to deal with that clone of yours. I made 3, Jiraiya, said Naruto, but I don't know where he is. The one that popped didn't see what the last one do. We'll find out when we confront the one we have tied up, said Jiraiya. Line break. Alright, what were you thinking with the little stunt you tried to pull? Naruto demanded of the still naked tied up clone. Don't blame me, cried the clone, your hormones influenced me. Don't use that line with me, retorted Naruto. Even if that was the case, it's your choice on what you do. Now tell me, where is the third clone I made? I haven't gotten his memories yet. The clone looked rather uncomfortable as he said, well, the truth is this wasn't my idea entirely. It was the other one's idea to do it. Well, where is he? Asked Naruto. Well, you technically did get the both of us, replied the clone nervously. He turned into the condom you're wearing, didn't he? Deadpan Naruto. Yeah, was the response he got. Yelp. Guess both of you die now, said Naruto as he used a special string of hand seals before erasing the 2 clones with his foxfire. I'm lucky I made it, so I don't remember what the heck was going through their heads, said Naruto. It would have been incredibly weird. I don't even want to know, said Jiraiya. The only other person in the room. Good, Mita, said Naruto. Line break. So where was that third clone? Asked Inari. Don't ask, replied Naruto. Okay, said Inari. Well, now that has been taken care of, we can start your training in the first stage of the Rasengan, said Jiraiya. Okay, so what do I have to do first? Asked Naruto. First off, pop a water balloon with nothing but your chakra, but let's do it outside, answered Jiraiya. Sounds easy, but I'm sure it isn't, said Naruto. That would be correct, said Jiraiya, but it is the last step that is the hardest by far. Alright, said Naruto. Once outside, Jiraiya showed Naruto how to perform the first step, after telling him not to use his Sharingan, then giving Naruto a water balloon to try his hand at making the balloon pop with just his chakra. Naruto tried to make his chakra spin in his palm like how he saw Jiraiya did, but it didn't work as he just caused the water balloon to explode violently. However, it wasn't the same way that Jiraiya did. Well, it was better than I hoped, noted Jiraiya. Kurama told me that mastering the Rasengan would help me master making my own tailed beast balls with my own yoki, said Naruto. Honestly, I plan on having you master that move at some point, said Jiraiya, but we'll have to go on a training trip to do so. Good to know. But for now let's focus on me learning the Rasengan, said Naruto. Well, we're going to leave in 2 days, said Jiraiya. I got word that Tsunade will be in Tanza Town very soon, and as it's not very far from here, so we'll be able to catch her there. Good to hear, said Naruto. Within the 2 days, Naruto managed to get to the point that when he tried to pop the water balloon, all it did was turn into a large flat disc, but nothing more. During that time, Naruto was able to teach Inari how to change back to human completely, but not change further into a dragon. However, the two discovered some draconic powers Inari had currently. These included the power to blast large volumes of seawater from his mouth or create seawater from the air as well. Hinata also read some of the medical books Naruto had to further her medical skills during the time, But 2 days wasn't enough time to properly learn anything new. It took about 5 days for them to get to Tanza Town as they took their time to train while traveling. Line break. Tsunade was leaving a casino where she won an incredible amount of money, which for her meant something bad was going to happen soon. Lady Tsunade, wait up, cried Shizune as she tried to catch up while holding Tonton, their pet pig, and the large sum of cash. Tsunade won. No time. We need to move, said Tsunade. You know we can't do that, said Shizune. We still have to take care of Kushina, and we can't move her around like that. It's hard enough moving her in the first place. You're right about that, sighed Tsunade. Alright, we'll stay for the day, but no longer. We have Karen and her parents who help us move Kushina around easier. Then let's go see the castle at least, said Shizune. Fine, replied Tsunade. Line break. As the two wandered around the outer section of the castle, a giant snake appeared and crushed the castle. At the same time, Orochimaru and Kabuto appeared before them. Orochimaru, what is it that you want? demanded Shizune as she got into a battle stance. Kukukukukuku, is that any way to grade an old teammate of your master? Asked Orochimaru with a chuckle. What is it that you want? Orochimaru ordered Suanda. None of your games either. What I want is for you to heal my arms, answered Orochimaru. Why ask me? I can see you have a skilled medic working for you already, asked Tsunade. We've already exhausted all our options before coming to you, answered Kabuto, and I'm willing to give you something you dearly want as payment, said Orochimaru. You have nothing I want, replied Tsunade, so go find someone else. Besides, I don't heal people anymore. But what about Kushina? You've been tending to her for years? Asked Orochimaru. Tsunade responded by punching a massive hole in the wall, growling out, don't you dare threaten what's left of my family. Trust me, I'm aware doing so would be my end, said Orochimaru. Both you and that brat would have my head if I harmed Kushina. What happened to your arms anyway? Asked Shizune. They look like they're dead and rotting. It was Sensei's last act against me when I tried to destroy Konoha, but that brat got in the way and prevented that, growled Orochimaru in frustration. So you killed Sensei? Asked Tsunade. I knew you were a heartless and vengeful man. Tell me, what exactly are you trying to offer me to treat your arms? Why bring back your brother and lover, replied Orochimaru. This gave Tsunade pause, as she did want them back, but didn't fully trust Orochimaru. And if I did heal your arms, then what? Why finish what I started? Of course, replied Orochimaru. The destruction of Konoha. I'll give you the rest of the week to decide. And with that, Orochimaru and Kabuto left them to think. You're not thinking about doing it, are you, my lady? Asked Shizune with worry. Honestly, I'm not sure, replied Tsunade. Let's head back and check on Kushina. Line break. Ah, here we are, Tanza Town, home to. Hey, where's the castle? Said Jiraiya as they entered the city. It appears as though the snake is about, said Naruto. I sense his residual chakra coming from the castle. Looks like we're not the only ones looking for it, Tsunade, said Hinata. If he harms my mother, said Naruto, I'll kill him in the most brutal way possible before bringing him back with the impure world resurrection, so I can kill him over and over until I get my vengeance on him. A bit dark there, Naruto noted. Jiraiya, appropriate, but dark. Oops, sorry about that, apologized Naruto. Anyway, let's head into town, said Jiraiya as Naruto, Jiraiya, Hinata and Inari entered the town. They headed over to the gambling sector to start their search. Tsunade really loves to gamble, doesn't she? Asked Naruto. Yes, and it's one of the 3 vices all shinobi should avoid, answered Jiraiya. Hey, you fall victim to one of them as well, pervy sage, said Naruto. Going after the ladies when you get the chance. Hey, got me there, replied Jiraiya with embarrassment. But enough about me, let's find Tsunade so she can take me to my mother, said Naruto. The 4 of them scoured the area, but found nothing. Only that Tsunade was still in town somewhere and that she won a ton of cash recently. From what they said, she'll be able to pay off her debt now, noted Naruto after he found out just how much Tsunade won. Right, which will make things easier for us to get her to come home, said Jiraiya. What does Tsunade look like? Asked Inari. I haven't seen a picture of her before. Oh, here, said Naruto as he handed Inari a photo. This was taken the day before I was born. Wow, she developed nicely, noted Hinata. Hey, isn't that her over there? Asked Inari as he pointed Tsunade out from within a nearby bar. Speak of the, said Jiraiya. Well, let's go talk to her. Line break. It's been a while, Tsunade greeted Jiraiya as the group came over. Huh? Oh, it's you, said Tsunade before noticing the group with Jiraiya. What's with the kids? Tsunade. I brought Naruto with so we could complete the mission we're on, explained Jiraiya. The others are with Naruto for their own reasons. Naruto? Why? Asked Shizune. Because Sensei and I realized we made an error, answered Jiraiya. Kushina needs Naruto to wake up, not us just waiting for her to wake up on her own. Tsunade and Shizune both suddenly banged their heads on the table as they completely didn't think about that the entire time, and there wasn't anything medically wrong with Kushina. So can we go see her? Asked Naruto. Of course, follow us, replied Tsunade as she led the group to the hotel she was staying at. And I'm sure you're happy to meet some of your lost clansmen as well. Of course I am, but I want to see my mother first, replied Naruto. Line break. Well, there she is, said Tsunade as she led the group into the room. We've made sure her body was in the best shape we could. Naruto slowly walked over to his mother and as soon as he reached her side dropped his illusion, collapsed to his knees and started bawling his eyes out into her stomach. Mommy, please come back to me, mommy. I need you, Naruto cried like this for a minute as everyone saw Naruto let out all the pent-up emotions he's been holding back for his entire life. As Naruto continued to cry, he suddenly felt a hand rub up against the back of his head in a soothing manner, causing Naruto to look up and see that his mother had finally woken up, as she said as she pulled him into a hug. "It's okay, Naruto, I'm here now, mommy," cried Naruto as he hugged her back tightly. "Why did you have to leave me for so long?" "Why? I'm sorry, Naruto, I didn't mean to," apologized Kushina, who began tearing up. "I'm so glad you're awake, Lady Kushina," said Jiraiya with relief. "Have you taken care of Naruto as you should have as his godfather?" asked Kushina seriously. "Both me and Kakashi have taken excellent care of him," assured Jiraiya. "We also made sure to keep him far away from our perverted ways, lest we suffer the consequences." "Good," replied Kushina. "Now someone care to tell me just how long have I been out?" "About 13 years," answered Tsunade sheepishly. "We were hoping that you'd wake up on your own, but we didn't think Naruto was what you needed to wake up. And for that we're eternally sorry." "I see," said Kushina. "I'm just glad to be back. So tell me, how exactly has the village treated my son?" "For the most part decently enough," answered Jiraiya. "Most of the problems come from the civilians and the civilian council, but since the recent Chunin exams they've started to realize just who Naruto's parents are and have been trying to correct their mistake." "I'll like to see them try to avoid what's coming to them," said Kushina. "So tell me, how was the exams?" "Badly. Orochimaru attacked during the last fight of the first round," answered Jiraiya. "Sensei died towards the end, and Naruto showed off a lot of power against those who attacked us." "So, who's the new Hokage?" asked Kushina. "It's not Danzo, is it?" "Danzo and his root were killed by Kurama the night everything went so wrong," said Jiraiya. "No, the truth is there are 3 people selected to take the hat next. I take it me and you are 2 of those people?" asked Tsunade. "Yes, but we both know there is only one person who not only take the hat, but make things right," answered Jiraiya. "And that person is you, Lady Kushina, as you did help me Naruto run things when he became Hokage." "Me? They want me to take the hat?" asked Kushina in shock. "With hesitation." "They do," answered Jiraiya. "The elders tried to convince me to take it, and then try to get Tsunade to do it. But I told them that you were the best choice as I'd be terrible at it, and we need Tsunade to take over the medical program, so she can't do it." "Nor would I," said Tsunade. "Look, I'll come back and take over the medical program. Being around the family I have is better than being on the run from debt collectors." "Hey Tsunade, I was wondering if you'd like to look over some results I found," asked Naruto. "What kind of results?" asked Tsunade. "It has to be something medical related, seeing how I'm the best medical I've." "Oh, don't worry about that," Tsunade assured Jiraiya. "Naruto here is a splendid medical ninja in the making, even if it not his primary focus." "Oh? And just how good is he?" asked an intrigued Tsunade. "Does performing open heart surgery with no complications count?" asked Naruto. "And the fact that the most experience I had in the operating room was assisting with only minor surgeries, and where's the proof of that?" asked Tsunade, who couldn't believe Naruto at all. "She's standing right here," replied Naruto as he gestured to Hinata. "Her cousin Neji nearly killed her in the preliminaries of the Chunin exams and is the only person on hand who had the knowledge to properly repair the damage I had to perform and lead the operation." "What? He did?" asked Kushina, who wasn't happy with what she just heard. "What did you do to him afterwards?" "Beat his ass in our match in the finals," replied Naruto. "I was going to let him live after I beat him senseless, but no, he had to go and say some things that I don't want to repeat about you and Dad. So I killed him by burning him alive from the inside out, and that is why people do not piss our clan off," said Kushina. "People tend to end up either in the hospital or in the ground." "Hee hee, yeah, no kidding," replied Naruto. "By the fox ears and tails, Kurama made you at least part kitsune," noted Kushina as she noticed them. "You're not mad, are you?" asked Naruto nervously. "No, sweetheart, I knew this might happen when we had to seal Kurama into you," answered Kushina sadly. "You did?" asked Naruto. "Yes dear, we were well aware." "What could happen to you?" answered Kushina. "I'm just curious as to when it happened is all." "Actually Kushina, there are some things you need to be made aware of first," said Jiraiya. "Plus there is something Naruto wants to show Tsunade here." "Huh? Oh yeah, the results," said Naruto before he brought out a scroll and unsealed a large folder from it. "The results from what?" asked Tsunade. "Naruto created 15 blood clones a few years ago and one of them died when Orochimaru attacked," explained Jiraiya. "So? Blood clones don't leave behind a body, so what's that have to do with anything?" asked Tsunade, who then had a thought. "Plus how would they last that long?" "Blood clones only last up to a year at best." "Oh, but that is where you are wrong," said Jiraiya. "Naruto used a batch of seals in their creation that allowed them to not only last far longer than a normal blood clone, but also that if they somehow die they do leave behind a corpse." "What? Seriously?" asked Shizune in shock. "Let me see those results," said Tsunade. "Here," replied Naruto as he handed them to her. "I also added everything there is about the ones that are still alive, except how I created them." Tsunade looked over the notes and results Naruto had on his special blood clones and was shocked by what she found. All the blood clones were practically human, they were even fertile. "Naruto, just what did you do to make these clones?" asked Tsunade. "This is remarkable. It's a secret ritual that I will not share, Just know I can recreate other people's body this way. Combine it with the impure world resurrection and you've essentially have brought someone back from the dead, answered Naruto. You know that forbidden jutsu? Asked Tsunade in shock. No, yes. Used it? No, answered Naruto, but if I'm right, combining the two techniques would allow someone to say goodbye to their loved ones if they didn't get the chance. Problem is I need a sample of their DNA to make either part work or Orochimaru offered to bring back Dan and my younger brother for healing his arms, and that I have till the end of the week to decide, said Tsunade. I don't trust him to keep your word. But if you can do it as well and in a far better way, then I'd like you to bring them back so I can say goodbye and finally have some closure. Knew that Snake was around, said Naruto. Alright, if you have any samples of their DNA, hand them to me so I can do this. Let's do this out of town, said Jiraiya. We don't need the locals throwing a fit. Well, let's not do too much in one day, said Kushina. I'm sure this can wait till tomorrow. Right, agreed Jiraiya. How about I catch Kushina up on the times while you Tsunade test Naruto and Hinata on their medical knowledge, as well as give Naruto and Inari a checkup on their other form. I understand, Naruto, but what's different about the kid? Asked Tsunade. Inari showed her his partial dragon form, shocking those who didn't know about it. It turns out I'm descended from sea dragons. On now it makes sense, said Tsunade. Alright, you three follow me. Shizune, stay here in case the other Uzumakis return from their late lunch. Other Uzumakis? Asked Kushina. Yes, other Uzumakis, said Jiraiya. As we said, there is a lot to catch up on, so for about 2 hours Kushina was caught up on world events while Tsunade tested Hinata and Naruto's medical skills, as well as give a full examination on Naruto and Inari's other forms. Once everything was dealt with and they all gathered in the living room area of Tsunade's hotel room, there was a knock from the door. Tsunade, who's in there with you? Asked a voice from the other side of the door. Delia, is that you? Asked Kushina as she sat up straight in shock. The door was quickly busted in as a fair tall red-headed woman broke right through it and exclaimed, Kushina, you're awake. Yes, all I actually needed was my son, replied Kushina with a smile. Son? Asked Delia before she noticed the others in the room. Oh, did I interrupt something important? No, not really, all the important stuff has already been taken care of, said Tsunade. Mom, what's going on? Asked a red-headed girl about the same age as Naruto from the doorway. Who are all these people? Oh, Karen, it's a miracle. Your cousin Kushina has woken up thanks to her son, cried Delia. Huh? Son? Asked Karen as she entered the room and saw the everyone, noticing Naruto next to Kushina last. Oh, right. Kushina married the 4th Hokage, that's why he's blonde. Well, no duh, deadpan Naruto. Whether or not my kids will get red hair is unknown. When did you get here, by the way? Asked Delia. This morning, answered Hinata, after the castle was destroyed. To be more precise, stupid snake, grumbled Naruto. I wanted to see it with Hinata. Is my Naruto dating? Asked Kushina. Not yet. That's why we brought Hinata with, answered Jiraiya. They've tried to go out on a date, but they've been too busy to be able to, as is the life of a ninja, said Kushina. I'm glad that they have a chance now. We're right here, you know, whined Naruto. We know, dear. We're just teasing you, said Kushina. Anyway, as I was saying before we got interrupted, said Tsunade, in my professional opinion both Naruto and Hinata are defiantly skilled enough to be certified medics. Heck, if I could, I'd do right now. Wait, you two study medicine? Asked Karen in shock. In fact, out of the 9 rookies this year, 5 of us are interested in learning medical jutsus and skills to some degree, replied Naruto. Issue is though the one rookie who would make a wonderful medic is under the influence from unknown force that makes her fangirlism go to the extreme. You mean Sakura, right? Asked Inari. Who? Asked Tsunade. Sakura Haruno. She's the daughter of one of the civilian counselors that is a hardcore gold digger, explained Jiraiya. We suspect that she did something to her own daughter to make her act the way she does, but have very little proof of that being the case. Sakura's older brother believes that is the case as well, said Naruto. He said that Sakura didn't start acting the way she does until after he joined the Onbut to get away from their mother. You're not talking about Baron Ono, are you? Asked Kushina. Yeah, why? You know him? Replied Naruto. Your father spoke of him a few times. Apparently the kid's almost prodigy level in how fast he learns, answered Kushina. I never got the chance to meet him in person, but from what I heard he's a nice boy. He moved into our apartment complex when I was about 5, said Naruto. And yeah, he's a nice guy. He's even started dating recently. I'm glad, said Kushina. I know their mother well. The bitch tried to get Minato to go out with her many times. Even joined the academy to get close to him, dropped out in the last year due to her increasingly bad grades as time moved on. She didn't stop until months after I married her father and found out we were having you talk about persistent, noted. Hinata tried to crash our wedding too, said Kushina. Too bad she couldn't get past Ma and Pa, said Jiraiya. They really didn't like what she was trying to do, so they tossed her far away from the wedding. We wondered what that was, noted Kushina. Serves her right, the bitch. No kidding, said Naruto. I recently acquired some very incriminating evidence on her, and boy, there's a lot. And I don't even think it's all of it. Do you have it with you? Asked Kushina sadly. No, replied Naruto. It's back home locked up safe and sound. Care to tell us something you found? Asked Tsunade. She slept with all the male civilian counselors and anyone who has tried to get a seat whether from seduction or getting the married ones incredibly drunk. All in an attempt to have a child with them to get at their money, or secure her seat, answered Naruto with disgust. So you can see, she is defiantly a gold digger. That woman has no shame, said Jiraiya. I might be a pervert, but I don't go around doing things like that. Let's change the subject please, asked Delia. Good idea, agreed Kushina. How about we talk about how many of our clan is still left besides the 5 of you here? I've only heard rumors of other members being alive, said Jiraiya. Although Nagato is one, I've lost track of him with no clues as to what happened to him or the other 2 orphans that were with him. Nagato? He was my aunt's son, said Kushina, so he'd be my cousin, but what do you mean by orphans? 2 stupid Konoha ninjas killed Nagato's parents as they were hiding out in rain. What went down exactly I don't know, said Jiraiya, but when I asked what they looked like, Nagato told me exactly how they looked. When he asked me why, I told him that those 2 ninjas should have recognized an Uzumaki right away and should not have killed them, as Uzumakis are held in high regard in Konoha, and that those 2 were dead men when I got back. If they weren't already, serves them right, said Kushina angrily. I take it they got what they deserved? Correct, replied Jiraiya. I found them, and when I grilled them as to why they'd kill 2 Uzumakis, they said that they were ordered to kill any Uzumaki they find, as they had planned on turning against Konoha or some shit like that. The only person I can think of that would lie like that is Danzo. Shame Kurama vaporized him and his root, so as of right now there are only 5 of us. Asked Delia. Not quite, said Naruto. I may have come up with a way to add more members to our clan besides marriage. And how's that? Asked Delia. I created a special one-time use ritual to use on the Uchihas I saved from being killed, answered Naruto, as well as the 14 special blood clones that I created shortly before that night. Just what exactly does this ritual do? Asked Tsunade. And how many Uchihas did you save? And how will it work on those clones? It'll basically change their DNA to match our own, changing their Sharingans to how mine is, answered Naruto. As for how many I saved, it was about 20 unfortunately. And what it'll do to the clones is hopefully turn them human due to how fundamental the changes will be. Was Mikado one of them? Asked Kushina. We're best friends. Yes, she was, answered Naruto. She and the 5 other adults of the group I saved live at the apartment. The only other Uchihas to survive the night was Sasuke, the 4 that are part of the Anbu, and the one that was out on a really long-term mission. Wait, are you saying that most of the Uchihas you saved were just children? Asked Tsunade. Correct, one of them is only a year older than I am. But he's not a fighter, answered Naruto. He took up medicine as it was what he wanted to do, but wasn't allowed to as his parents forbade him to. I take it his parents are dead? Asked Tsunade. Yep, replied Naruto, and honestly I would have performed the ritual already, but the more Uzumakis that help perform it the better the results will be. You mentioned you have the Sharingan, how? Asked Delia. Grandma was an Uchiha that couldn't unlock her Sharingan due to a mutation in her DNA that Dad inherited, as well as me, explained Naruto. It wasn't until Kurama made me part Kitsune that he was able to correct and alter it to what I have. What's so different about it? Asked Karen. Naruto explained just what was so different about his Sharingan compared to the Uchiha's version, listing off the difference in appearance as well as the different powers his Mangekyo Sharingan has. And explained in full how he got it when his mother started getting angry, as she knew how Uchihas get theirs, causing her to flip out in horror at the thought of her only son nearly getting himself killed in battle. It took an hour and a long ear lashing on not jumping in the way of a killing blow before Kushina calmed down. So those Uchihas will have their Sharingans changed to how yours is? Asked Tsunade. Correct, same goes for the clones, as they do have the Sharingan as well, answered Naruto. Took making a seal to allow them to use it in the first place, as the mutation still affects them due to being created before I became part Kitsune. So in all there's about 40 in all, noted Tsunade. The 5 of you here, the 14 blood clones, and the Uchihas who I'm guessing are going to allow the ritual to be performed on them. All the ones I saved except Mikado as well as the one that was on a long-term mission are willing to join our clan, answered Naruto. And before you ask, that guy was Obita's younger brother, so you can see why he'd so easily leave his clan behind. Kinda why he took the mission in the first place. When did he return? Asked Jiraiya. I didn't even know he was alive the day before of the invasion. He approached me that night asking to stay with me as he had not plans on openly returning to the village. When I told him about the others and what they planned to do, he was all for it, mentioning that the records could just say he died on his mission, answered Naruto. Clever, noted Jiraiya. Must have been a top secret mission for me not to know about it. It was. He succeeded in his mission but refuses to talk about it at all, replied Naruto, and I'm not going to pry either, as that's rude. Well, it's getting close to dinner time, how about we all head out to eat? Suggested Kushina. Good idea, agreed everyone. That night everyone properly got to know each other, and during the entire time Naruto would silently weep tears of joy and happiness as he now had a real family that loved him. Line break. The next day it was decided that during the week Naruto and Hinata will get to spend as much time together as they want while the others plan and get ready to take out Orochimaru at the end of the week. Tsunade also told Naruto that she'll wait for him to revive her brother and Dan once they get back. Naruto and Hinata had the time of their life and enjoyed the time they got to spend together. The others decided to let Tsunade, Jiraiya, Kushina, Naruto and Hinata deal with Orochimaru and his henchmen. During this time Orochimaru realized that Tsunade most likely will try to kill him as Naruto had arrived in town shortly after he offered her his deal. As the only reason Naruto would even come to her was for his comatose mother as well as the other members of his clan, Tsunade included. This made him have Kabuto bring his strongest minion, Kimimaro, as despite his failing health will provide the extra backup needed to handle Naruto and his mother. The night before the planned meet-up with Orochimaru, Tsunade asked Naruto what jutsus or other powers he had and how much mastery he had over them. Naruto told her that he had a large list of jutsus, some coming from his Kitsune powers, others coming from his Sharingan as well as his Uzumaki heritage. At this Kushina asked him if he meant the Uzumaki adamantine chains, to which Naruto answered with that yes he did unlock them but has yet to master controlling them. Hey, I can use those too, said Karen as she created a chain as proof. It's rare for those outside the main family to gain them and they're not nearly as strong either, noted Kushina, but it's still an accomplishment that you should be proud of. Main family? Asked Naruto. Yes, main family, replied Kushina. The two of us are members of the main branch of our clan, which basically means we're royalty as we used to rule the land of whirlpools until Uzu was destroyed. Wow, I had no idea, said Naruto in awe. The elders really don't have a case against us getting married in the future now. Not that they ever did, noted Hinata. Don't I know it, agreed Naruto. You didn't get a marriage contract made out, did you? Asked Kushina critically. Kinda had to, replied Naruto sheepishly. The elders tried to force Hiyashi into marrying Hinata off to members of the main branch that are against changing the way things are run. The only way to stop that was for me to agree to signing a marriage contract. Not that me or Hinata minded, as we do plan on getting married at some point. I see. Well, I'm not going to force you to resend the contract seeing how the two of you plan on getting married anyway, said Kushina. Just promise me that you'll wait till you're older. That's the plan, replied Naruto, and if things somehow get out of hand before then, well, that's why there are condoms. I better not catch or hear anything like that happening, warned Kushina. We know better than that, Mom, cried Naruto. Good to know, said Kushina. Well, let's turn in for the night. We have a snake to exterminate tomorrow, said Tsunade. Line break. The end of the week. Tsunade left on her own to meet up with Orochimaru. The others left shortly after, hiding their chakra as not to arouse suspicion from Orochimaru. I see you've arrived like I asked, greeted Orochimaru. So have you made your choice? Yes, I'll heal your arms, replied Tsunade. In exchange you don't attack Konoha ever again. Fair enough, I only really wanted to kill Sarutobi-sensei anyway, replied Orochimaru. Tsunade then gathered chakra to her hand and stepped closer, keeping an eye on Kabuto, who was standing next to Orochimaru. She got within 5 feet of Orochimaru. Kabuto threw a kunai at her, yelling, "Look out! That jutsu is an assassination technique. Worth a shot," said Tsunade as she jumped back. Figured you might recognize the jutsu. Tell me, why would you not want to see your beloved again? Asked Orochimaru. Because I know they wouldn't want to be brought back that way, replied Tsunade. Plus I know someone who can bring them back in a more proved way. Oh, and who could possibly know how to bring back the dead besides me? Demanded Orochimaru. Naruto Uzumaki, answered Tsunade. Showed up not long after we first met. I see. Did he manage to wake his mother by any chance? Asked Orochimaru with some fear as Kushina scared even the likes of him. Oh, he did, said Kushina as she jumped down next to Tsunade, along with Jiraiya, Shuzin, Naruto and Hinata. I can't say I'm surprised, noted Naruto. When he saw Kabuto I knew there was something funny about you. Observant as always, Naruto, replied Kabuto. Let's take this somewhere more suitable, said Orochimaru as he and Kabuto ran off. Suddenly the group followed after them, catching up to them in a large open field, and saw that there was third person with them. I see you brought back up, noted Tsunade, and a member of the Kaguya clan no less. Indeed, Kimimaro is one of my strongest followers, said Orochimaru. Enough of this. It's time we put an end to your schemes, Orochimaru, said Jiraiya. Kabuto, Kimimaro handled the others. I'll deal with my former teammates, ordered Orochimaru. Your will be done, my lord, said Kimimaro as he charged the group. As you wish, said Kabuto as he followed suit. Naruto retaliated by summoning his sword Fakuju to his hand and creating a blade of pure wind chakra. Hinata got into a defensive gentle fist stance. Shuzin readied some senbon and Kushina created her adamantine chains as she didn't have her weapons. They were back in the village in storage. Kimimaro made bone weapons and spikes come out of his body as him and Kabuto got close to the group, targeting Naruto and Hinata first. Kabuto engaged Shuzin and Kushina, very wearily as he had very little to go on for Kushina's abilities. With chakra scalpels active, his chakra points are too hard to get at, Naruto said Hinata as she tried to use the gentle fist to shut down Kimimara's chakra points. He's protecting them with incredibly dense bone. Let's see if those bones can handle this, said Naruto as he slashed with his blade and cutting right through the bones that it connected with. With some difficulty, man, those bones are hard to cut through, noted Naruto. The density there, it is incredible. You will not stop Orochimaru's will, said Kimimaro as he tried to jab Naruto with a spear of bone. I see you're very loyal to that snake, noted Naruto, but just how much are worth with to him? From what I've seen, the only person he most likely would keep around is Kabuto. Kimimaro leered at Naruto and replied with, I don't care what my worth is to Lord Orochimaru, I will give my life to him. That's respectable, said Naruto, but I can't let you stand in my way, Naruto. Hinata and Kimimaro then went back to fighting each other at intense ferocity. Line break. This is the end of you both, said Kabuto as he faced off against Kushina and Shuzin with his chakra scalpels at the ready. Do you honestly think you can take me on? Asked Kushina with a raised eyebrow. I regained my touch after I woke up, not that I really lost it. Crap, this is bad, thought Kabuto. Tsunade's apprentice I could handle, but the Red Death is on a completely different level. It was true. Kabuto was very hard-pressed to fend off Kushina due to her sheer level of skill and power was above his own. Only surviving due to his unique healing factor that was similar to an Uzumaki's healing factor. Just die already, you're out of your league, said Kushina as she tried to pierce Kabuto with her chains. Line break. The fight between the three senin was as spectacular as one would hope, as Orochimaru's arms were useless due to them being sealed away. Not that he wasn't able to defend himself without the use of his arms. He wasn't one of the senin for nothing. You are going to pay for killing Sensei, Orochimaru snarled Jiraiya. And how are you going to do that? Asked Orochimaru as he avoided being hit by both Jiraiya and Tsunade. Orochimaru noticed just how hard a time both Kimimaro and Kabuto were having a hard time against their opponents, more so Kabuto as he was facing off against a S-ranked ninja that was stronger than he is. Not that he'd admit it. Suddenly a cry of pain rang out across the battlefield. The others saw that it was because Naruto had managed to slice off Kimimaro's right arm just below the shoulder and seal it into a storage seal. Gah! Screamed Kimimaro in pain and shock as he didn't expect Naruto to suddenly slice his arm off the way he did. This distraction was enough for Kushina to stab Kabuto with all of her chains. Gawa! Cried Kabuto in pain and surprise. It's time for you to die, said Kushina before she used her chains to rip Kabuto apart in large chunks of blood and gore. Fuck! Yelled Orochimaru in anger. Kimimaro, get over here. I need you. Kimimaro ran over as fast as he could, using his dead bone pulse bloodline to grow an arm of solid bone to replace the one he lost. Kitsune style, Foxfire Storm, yelled Naruto as he caused large balls of blue fire rain down from the sky at Kimimaro and Orochimaru. Orochimaru deftly avoided the fireballs, while Kimimaro was hit a few times by the fireballs but ignored them as they didn't slow him down. Kimimaro, I need you to summon Mandra for me, ordered Orochimaru. Kimimaro complied and swiped some of Orochimaru's blood across his summoning tattoos. Tsunade, Jiraiya, Naruto and Kushina all got ready with their own summoning techniques. 5 large plumes of smoke appeared, and once the smoke cleared there were 5 different summons standing in the large empty field. They were a snake, toad, slug, dragon and Kurama. Mom, you can summon dragons? Asked Naruto in shock from his perch atop Kurama's head. Tsunade, Orochimaru, Kushina, Shizune, Kimimaro, and 3 of the summons were shocked to see Naruto fuse to the top of Kurama. Jiraiya, Gabata, Hinata and Inari weren't shocked as they saw it during the invasion. Orochimaru was too focused on his fight with Hiruzen to notice Naruto. How in the world did you manage to summon Kurama? Asked Kushina in shock. He's supposed to be sealed and you found a small workaround, replied Naruto, but this is as best as I can do for now. You're to give me a very large number of sacrifices for this, grumbled Mandra. If it was just the toad and slug I'd have no problem. But no, you call me out to face off against a dragon and the strongest Baiju is more than I can handle. It's been some time, Kushina said. The large red western dragon. Sorry old friend, but being stuck in a coma for nearly 13 years does that, apologized Kushina. I wish you had summoned me that night, complied the dragon dude. With everything that was going on that night, how could she summon you? Asked Kurama with a raised eyebrow. Didn't think about it, noted the dragon. Enough of this. It's time to end this, said Jiraiya. Agreed, said Orochimaru as he let Kimimaro know that they need to retreat as soon as possible if they are to survive. The ensuing fight between the summons was quick as it was 4v1 with Mandra being killed by both Kurama and the dragon blasting him with their fire. Orochimaru and Kimimaro however managed to escape, if barely, as everyone tried to follow them as soon as Mandra was killed. So now what? Asked Naruto. The snake managed to escape well as an Uzumaki. We need to see if you are able to summon our family's summoning clan, said Kushina. Same goes for Karen and those special blood clones you created. The dragon got a look of confusion and asked, blood clones? They wouldn't be able to sign any summoning contracts. They aren't going to be blood clones after a special ritual is used on them, explained Jiraiya. Hey, there is someone I want you to meet, said Naruto. Who? Asked the dragon Inari. We recently discovered that he's descended from sea dragons after he partially transformed into one, answered Naruto. The dragon gained a look of confusion before realizing something. I heard something strange happened years ago. Tell me, where is this Inari from? Wave, answered Naruto. Me and my team had to protect his grandfather while he built his super bridge from a corrupt businessman. I see. Then that story I heard in my youth was true, said the dragon. Alright, well, is there anything you can do to help him? Asked Naruto. He'll have to sign our contract to gain the help he needs, answered the dragon, but it now isn't the best time to do that. Alright, we'll call you up later, said Kushina. The dragon and Slug went home and Gambunta said this is going to be interesting news for Ma and Pa. Before going home, let's get back to the others and rest up, said Tsunade. Good idea, agreed Jiraiya. Line break. Once they got back to the others and recounted what happened during the fight, at least you got his second in command. Noted. I didn't know our clan could summon dragons, said Karen in shock. For the most part only members of the main family have been able to, but they are only able to summon one dragon as they get a partner to work alongside them, explained Kushina. Of course there have been cases where clansmen from outside the main family were able to gain a dragon partner, so there's a test of sorts to gain the ability to summon a dragon. Asked Naruto. Correct. Now since you have a kitsune partner and a contract with the toads, it might be harder for you to gain one, answered Kushina. Well, it's worth a shot anyway. I'm not able to summon any other kitsunes besides Shade and Kurama right now, said Naruto with a shrug. What's wrong? Asked Jiraiya in confusion. The elders have been running things differently than how they should ever since Kurama was first sealed, answered Naruto. We're going to sort it out at some point, but it can wait for now. Is it possible for me to take the test to see if I can gain a dragon partner? Asked Hinata. I'm engaged to Naruto. After all, you can ask the one who hands out the test, answered Kushina, but I'm not going to say anything about the test. It's a very closely guarded secret of the Dragon Clan. Wasn't going to ask, replied Naruto and Hinata. Good to hear, said Kushina. Now are we going to head back to Koona as soon as possible, or is there something else that is needed to be done first? I want to go to Uzu and try to find the vault, answered Naruto. Plus I'll be able to finish learning the Rasengan and gain control over my adamantine chains, plus start working on some new jutsus. The vaults of Uzu? Asked Delia. I don't even know where those are. Do you know, Kushina? I have a general idea. My father didn't tell me where their location is before I left for Koona, but Uzu was destroyed soon after, so I never learned where the vaults were, answered Kushina. Hey mom, is it possible that there are survivors living in Uzu? Asked Naruto. Of our clan? No, answered Kushina, but members of the other clans that lived there? It is possible that some of them returned to Uzu to hide out there away from our enemies. What were the other clans that lived in Uzu? Asked Hinata. Besides our clan? There were about 5 other major clans and 6 minor clans, answered Kushina. So there were 12 ninja clans in Uzu. Am I hearing that right? Asked Jiraiya. Correct, but there was mostly civilian clans that lived in Uzu, answered Kushina, but I don't think any of them survived the destruction of Uzu, and if I remember correctly the vaults hold all the wealth of all of Uzu's clans and civilian clans, said Delia. That is correct, but if any of the other clans survive, they aren't going to be able to get into the vaults, as only members of the Uzumaki main family can get into them, confirmed Kushina. Well, let's wait a few days before we head out, suggested Jiraiya. We should have a few days to ourselves. Good idea, agreed Tsunade. Line break. 5 days later, the group headed out towards the ruins of Uzu. During that time, Naruto and Hinata spent as much time as they could with each other. Kushina. I'm not sure how long things are going to go slow between Naruto and Hinata. Those animal instincts he has from being part kitsune are going to kick in at some point, warned Jiraiya as the group was walking along. I'm not worried too much about that. I think they'll get married before that happens, assured Kushina, but Naruto did tell me that he packed some condoms just in case. Are they going to work for him? Asked Kushina. If I'm right, Naruto is rather large like most male Uzumakis. Don't worry, Kakashi helped him get the right size, assured Jiraiya. If he knows how to properly use them. On the other hand, I have no idea. That's up to him to tell you. Know me. Good to hear, said Kushina. Hey mom, how long until we reach Uzu? Asked Naruto as he ran over to his mother. Jiraiya. Delia and her husband will be there in a day or 2, answered Kushina, but we still need to cross the whirlpools that protect Uzu from outsiders. How do we do that? Asked Naruto. Shouldn't be hard, as members of the main branch of Uzumaki will be able to cross and deactivate them long enough for the others to get by, answered Kushina. That's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on my other social media accounts. Anime God here, and I'm signing off.